So anytime he had to pee or poop, he would, goggles, and he would put them on. And so we have pictures of him sitting on the toilet with these goggles on.
Does he still have to do that in order to go to the bathroom?
Well, now he's graduated up to a full welding mask at this point, but it's fine.
I can't crap without my goggles on.
Dad, wipe my asshole. Hey everybody, welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is season 8, episode 12, and we were almost going to have a guest, and that would have been cool. Maybe she'll come on in the future sometime. Mary Lynn Reiskub, who people have known for a long time, especially if you're Gen X and you're into nerdy, weird things like Mr. Show, Larry Sanders Show. That's where you first really saw her a lot on TV. But of course, she's Gail the Snail on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and she is Chloe, or was Chloe, on 24. She's also in Tomorrow War. Remember that movie that came out during the pandemic? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And won't spoil it, but she's not in the whole movie. But she does kick a little bit of ass. She's in town this weekend. What is this? March 23rd, 24th, I guess maybe the 25th, for stand-up at the Punchline Comedy Club in Sandy Springs. So if you're interested and you're watching this on Saturday morning or listening on Saturday morning and you go, I want to go see Mary Lynn Reiskub, then just go to punchline.com for tickets and more information. She's also going to be, she was on the show with me and Jared, perhaps. And if she wasn't, well, then I apologize. But you can probably find that podcast as Jared and I filled in for the Mark Aaron program on Friday, whatever tomorrow is, the 24th, right? Yeah, I'm so confused. Anyway, welcome to the show. By the way, next week we have a very cool Radio Labyrinth Presents coming out. We talk to a whole bunch of people. Actually, I had 3 people on the show. Jeremy Long is the founder of the Huntsville, that would be Alabama, Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. He joins us to talk about how that got started and how it's going and how it's grown so much over the years. And we also have friend of the show, Ming Chen, and a very special guest, Mr. Brian O'Halloran, best known as Dante Hicks from the Clerks movies and other properties. So that'll be out next week sometime. Is that what we were saying, or soon? Should we just say?
Yeah, say soon.
No, say soon. But find out if you want to go. There's a whole bunch of people coming to the Huntsville Expo. Gosh, let me look at this list. I have a list, if you like Star Trek, well, you got 4 big names there. Gates McFadden, who's on the current season of Picard. Dr. Crusher. You have William Shatner, Brent Spiner, who so far hasn't shown up on that show.
Yeah, he did this week.
Shit. Well, the way to ruin it, jackass. I watched it.
It was on the previews.
I didn't see it in the previews. I don't watch the previews. John Delancey, who is also known as Q, who led the insurrection against the Capitol building on January 6, 2021. And then he sent all the Congress people to fight the Borg at Farpoint. Isn't that what happened?
He runs QAnon?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, he sent all them out there to fight the Borg. And the guy, the guy who wore the big fuzzy hat, he was assimilated into the Borg. You also have Dean Cain, Amy Jo Johnson, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Joey Fatone, Mick Foley, Chandler Riggs, Barry Bostwick, and Brian Silverback's another friend of the show. And I can't say this guy's name. Omid Abtahi. Is that how you say it? Abtahi? Omid Abtahi? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's the doctor on the man, the Snorri. Anyway, so check that out. Patreon. Would you like to become a member? Just go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. And you can also like, rate, and review us on Spotify. Please do that. Or also, the YouTube channel. Do all the things that people ask you to do on the podcast. But Patreon producers and Patreon members and all of our friends on Patreon get access to our special Patreon shows. We have just wrapped up the Last of Us. We did every episode, and I believe eventually Dustin's going to make a compilation where we're going to put it on our regular channel on YouTube. Also, we are going to be doing more content in the coming weeks. One of the things we had talked about doing was everyone watching the movie Night Patrol from the 80s with the unknown comic, Pat Paulson, when the Blair.
Yes.
and a whole bunch of other people, huge cast. And we're going to do that, but we might move it over to the regular show because we're going to try to book a guest, one of the people from the movies. We won't say until we have that booked, but everything is being worked on in that regard. We do have a new Patreon member. Thank you to Val Myers, and it is not the person from that show, not the Val Myers who just joined us on Patreon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we appreciate that. But Jeff, you were talking about Val Myers. Is she still on TV?
No, she is the runner of the booker, I guess, at Comedy Garage. I don't know, some kind of small scale venue.
Comedy.
Yeah.
She used to have this show that we watched. It was called Junkin', where they just go to garage sales.
Yeah.
Flea markets and stuff. What was that on? I can't remember what network it was.
Turner South.
Was it Turner? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. When Turner South had it. Boy, she's not very active on Twitter.
No. She's not active much on any social media.
And that's probably for the best for most people, I would say. Want to say thank you to our producers. If you are a producer at the $25 level or above, like Terry Fuller, Chris Chandler, Roby Neely, Tim Slayton, Mike D, and Matt Carter, you will get a doodle from Tim. And that could be one that I have already done. And you can get a printout and signed and mailed to you with some stickers. Also, you can pick a t-shirt from our t-shirt store and you get this weekly shout out. So, without any further ado, I want to mention one more thing. On the podcast this week, it didn't air properly. The podcast is available, but we are going to try to air it this tonight or whatever. If you're in Atlanta and you want to listen to the radio at 7 p.m. on Saturday, you can check out the podcast, and my guests are comedian Drew Lynch and actor Jesse Metcalf. Those guys are really cool to talk to. And, of course, I have all those archived on your various podcatchers. Steph was telling us today she had an idea for a new TV show where you get to be someone in charge of billing and also providing therapy to the people. So what would you call yourself, Dr. Steph?
Sam, I swear, I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know what you'd call it.
You were telling me the stories today about some people that you had to interact with at your job, and it just made me think of this week's South Park. Butters gets a job, and then Cartman gets one, and then all he does is bitch and try to get out of the work. But he's a sad sack. That, by the way, was a good plot twist on how to get them out of the hot dog stand. But anyway.
No, I just feel like it's like people in general are mentally unraveling, and they reach out through any venue they can to like glom onto somebody, like to just glom onto reality. And that's what they do, is they call into my life.
So.
And they try to drag me into their mental hell. And I try to talk them through it. I mean, the one dude today, I was like, don't give up. He was like,
I give up. Don't give up. I give up. Give up. I give up. Give up. I give up.
God, I can't make the payments, and I just don't know, man.
First off, you're looking to somebody who works at a job doing billing for inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, lift me up, motherfucker. I mean, what do you think I'm dealing with?
Losing my fucking mind here.
Tell them about the podcast. Maybe that. Hey, listen to me on Radio Labyrinth or watch me. And
I almost prefer them to be mean and surly and nasty. I would much rather deal with that than them breaking down or just talking nonsense. Just nonsense. And you're just like, are you here? Are you awake? Do you know what's happening right now at all?
And though I can hide my cold gaze, maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable. I simply am not there.
And I just got to sit there and hold through it till they come back to the reality. And like, oh yeah, I'm on the phone with somebody. Let me stop going through all my bank records.
Yeah, I don't live in that world where I have to deal with the public anymore or customer service. And I do kind of miss those days, but not really. I hate people in that regard. Like working at Fuddruckers as a manager or Bob Evans as a manager or working at a restaurant like the pizza place where I worked. Really the only place I really enjoyed the customers was when I worked at Mary Todd in Cabbagetown, but no one was coming in there and, giving me their woes like you have to deal with every day. And I wasn't chasing people down for money. So you have to call people and go, when are you going to pay?
No. They call in. They call in. Yeah, I'm not cold calling these people. They're calling me with this shit.
Didn't Ron White cry on your shoulder for like a half hour before his haircut?
He did. That was because he had 7 bourbons down at the tavern. They were lying and they called this a tavern.
I just prefer to quietly fall apart to myself.
Yeah.
I don't try to bring everybody else into it. And it just seems like everywhere you go now, somebody's like, oh, God, they just start going on. You're like, shut the fuck up. What do you think? We're all dealing with it. Shut the fuck up.
Eggs are $9.
Let's talk about TV. God damn it. I don't care what's going on with you.
Why are they calling you? Yeah, they owe money?
Yes.
And you've been leaving messages saying, hey.
I don't say anything. They get a bill. Then they call us, and then it starts in with why they don't have any money to pay the bill also, or why we're pricks for billing them to begin with, and blah, 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 blah. And, I'm usually pretty good about spinning it and, da-da-da-da. And I do like to give good customer service. I try my very best to end every phone call with them being somewhat satisfied. But, I mean, they were really dragging it out of me. It could be also that I'm on this gas station crack. That could also be shortening my temper. So I don't know.
Yep, tracer stuff. Yeah, you are on, what is it called that you're taking?
It's called Phentermine.
Phentermine. It burns carbs. It just burns up all your carbs.
Phentermine, and you buy it at your favorite local gas station this week?
No. It's actually prescribed by the doctor.
Isn't that the senator from Pennsylvania?
Phentermine?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got the easiest job. He just sits in a hospital all day and doesn't do it. People say he's working on his mental health. Congratulations. It'd be so easy to be if you're in government now, it'd be so nice because you just get like a wheelbarrow full of cash from like Pfizer or whoever the fuck made Moderna, who owns Moderna. They just wheel it up to your office and dump it right in there, and then you just do whatever they tell you to do, and then you can just, flit around and pretend that you care about things.
Do you ever just like pass a house, some big, enormous house, and you think to yourself, what the hell did they do to get that? How does anybody have that kind of money?
I used to, but I figured that they probably worked really hard at whatever they did.
No way. I don't know.
When I saw your house and your big wraparound porch and your
You're
swing.
stupid.
Yeah.
You're crazy. Get out of here.
Who you have in your backyard?
Did Steph and Pickle afford that?
You have a pool, don't you?
No.
I thought you had a pool.
No.
The slide and everything.
In lieu of any luxuries, we have 4 dogs.
Yeah. How the fuck did you afford those 4 dogs?
We ask ourselves every month, how are we doing this?
You got that new kitchen. Yeah, you're rolling in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were just saying the other day, what's to become of us? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we live in interesting times.
We do.
Chinese used to say, may you live in interesting times.
The man said, may you live in interesting times.
And that wasn't something they weren't wishing you good luck. They were saying, may you have a shitty life. May you pay twice as much for eggs as you did 4 years ago. May your gasoline be super expensive. May milk cost you a lot of money. May you pay for cable and also 78 streaming services that you don't need. All that wonderful stuff. Would you like to subscribe? Subscribe. Hey, Amazon Plus, we have Encore and Stars, but it's just want to watch this stuff. No, you want to watch this stuff. Spread it out and just keep pay.
But what are you watching?
What you watching there?
What are you watching?
Okay, so what are we watching?
What are we watching? What are you watching?
Speaking of which, there's all sorts of shit that premiered this week and all sorts of TV shows, all sorts of streaming items. Did everybody watch South Park this week, the most recent episode of South Park? I thought it was funny. Did Dustin and Steph, did you guys watch it?
I haven't got to watch it yet. You were telling me it closely relates to what I was upset about today, or complaining about anyway.
Yeah, a lot of, they just take things on. cultural issues or whatever. They take them on really well, and of course it's satire. But the overall plot point to me was great because they figured out a way to get Cartman and his mother out of the hot dog stand and back into their house, which is cool. And the whole story that surrounds it is the resetting everything. Although Stan and his family are still at Tegrity Farms, right?
I don't know because I haven't watched it this season yet.
Well, all right. Did everybody watch Lucky Hank?
I did. I watched the first episode.
And?
I liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
Blew me away. I love this guy. Every single role he takes on, there's a little bit of Bob Odenkirk in there, but he just makes these new characters. It just, Hank isn't Saul or Jimmy, isn't Stevie from the Larry Sanders Show. He's not what Jeff put on the show sheet that his favorite was favorite Bob Odenkirk character, Jeff, who?
Willip Sprayton.
Right, because he had the mouth sores.
Yeah, take it from him, the guy who's had mouth sores.
A mouthful of sores ain't much fun.
I would have thought you said Senator Tinkerbell.
Yeah, Tinkerbell. A nude in the space puppet. He's such an amazing actor and so many fantastic roles, which is what, that I think you should leave that one segment that he's on where he plays
triples.
Triples are best. Just the sadness that the guy has, and he well, and just amazing. So Lucky Hank is another hit. I hope it's a huge hit. I know it debuted with a 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that.
Yeah, I loved it when he just let that kid have all of that honesty.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then he had to pay for it, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
By losing his job for half a day.
Oh, I know, that was great. None of them care. They're all idiots.
I like all the teachers too. I mean, the whole supporting cast is good. And what's her face that plays his wife from The Killing?
Yeah.
What is her name?
Muriel Alanos or something.
Muriel Enos.
Yeah.
And Suzanne Cryer, she's the English teacher that's really snooty and bitchy, right? And wanted to take over his job. You have Diedrich Bader playing his best friend Tony. Cedric Yarborough is really funny as one of the English department teachers.
Yeah.
They're all just kind of okay. And this Shannon DeVito, yeah, that's her name, Shannon DeVito. She plays Emma. She's the lady in the wheelchair. She's so funny. She didn't give a shit about anything.
Yeah.
Her character's great. The whole show is really well done, and so I look forward to continuing to watch it. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's on AMC.
And we had touched on it last week, but I just wanted to say, Snowfall. Jeff, did you watch it this week?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Holy crap is all I'm going to say. It is.
What happened?
I'm not going to spoil it for you. I really think you're going to watch it, but man, this season is good.
There's so much to watch. I don't want this.
It's so down dirty.
This is the final season, though. You should be watching it.
Well,
it's really good.
I'll have to finish the last season before we get to this one.
All I can say is that Franklin is a piece of shit. Like I don't hope anything works out for him at all anymore.
Oh, that's too bad.
Or Jerome for that.
Yeah, I like Jerome a lot less now too.
Yeah. Everybody's probably gonna die.
Hopefully not Leon though.
I hope not. Or Wanda, my God. Good for everything.
All right, now you're making me want to watch it. I'm going to have to catch up after it's done.
I saw Fat Pack's going to be on, what's that show that was so funny the first season on Hulu? Dave.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I thought about maybe we should ask him, see if he'd come back and talk to us about Dave.
I got to catch up on Dave. I kind of stopped watching toward the end of the last
It got
season.
pretty gross.
Yeah.
It was a little too gross for me in the second season.
Steph turned me on to a movie that was on Showtime, and I put it on. I had no idea what to expect. It's set in the 70s. It's called X, or set in the early 80s maybe. A bunch of people go out to a barn or go out to a farm in Texas, kind of an Airbnb type of thing, and they're going to shoot this porno movie, and it's got a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes, if instead of Leatherface, it's just this old couple who have disgusting old people sex. And
I had to fast forward through that part. I couldn't handle it.
I had to pause it.
Now you got to watch the prequel.
There's a
Have you
prequel.
seen it? Pearl?
Yeah, it's called
Have you seen
it's called
it yet?
Pearl. Yeah, it's about the old lady from the house. It's her story growing up, but Mia Goth is her.
Mia Goth played her in X too, though.
Yeah, she plays her in this one. So it's a weird trilogy they're making because they put out the middle film first, then they made Pearl, and then they're making a new one to go on the
sequel
afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, where can you watch Pearl?
You got to rent it.
Yeah, I think it's on video on demand.
Because I tried to find it once I read up about it.
Yeah.
I really liked X. I thought it was a really great exploitation horror movie. It was way over the top. It was so over the top, and there was a lot of funny parts, but it was gory as hell.
He was great.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. I really thought they were going to show her really getting it on with somebody, and I was about to upset because I did not want that to happen, and they cut away. So I was very pleased.
I had the opposite.
No, not Wednesday.
I had the opposite feeling as you did.
But you know what was funny is
Turn around, do reverse cowgirl.
but she played Wednesday, but her underwear said Sunday.
I didn't know there was a trilogy, so now I'm going to try to watch Pearl. So we're just kind of going through things we watched this week. I guess you guys all watched Ted Lasso.
No.
You keep Ted Lasso's name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah, he's too busy going to the White House. Why were they all at the White House? And I don't understand that. They're all at the White House, and then some journalist from South Africa is screaming at Karine Jean-Pierre, and then she starts scolding him like he's 10 years old. No, we aren't doing this here. No, we aren't doing this now. We aren't doing this now. Meanwhile, everybody from Ted Lasso's up there feeling uncomfortable. It was really stupid. I don't know why they have celebrities there for press release or press meetings or whatever. It's really dumb. You knew it was going to happen because like a couple days before the premiere of Ted Lasso, whoever runs the social media for the White House, it's certainly not Joe Biden because it's just not him. You know, it's not. How are you figure? Hey, what are you doing? That ain't happening. Not like the guy who sat on the toilet at 2 a.m. and insulted everybody. You stupid piece of shit. Filthy. They had
Roseanne was right.
Yeah, Roseanne was right. She did. Oh, wait a minute, that's not right. I'll get canceled. They'll cancel my show and replace me with Laurie Metcalf. So they had a big sign, outside of the Oval Office that said "Believe." So I said, "Oh, they're marketing." So Apple got a free commercial. So congratulations to them. But if you're happy with Ted Lasso, I'm happy for you. Or season 3, right? 1 episode.
Yeah, season 1. No, there's 2 episodes now.
Cool. Anybody watch Agent Elvis?
No, I meant to, but I didn't get to it.
We watched like 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, I forced myself to finish it.
Not for me.
Oh, it's really sad because the last thing you see is a graphic that comes up and it says, "In loving memory of Lisa Marie Presley." And I think in this case, she's probably lucky that she never had to see it. I mean,
the animation looks cool, though.
The animation is freaking awesome. It looks so good, and the sound is good. The voices are really good. Matthew McConaughey is great. Priscilla Presley is great as Priscilla Presley. You have Tom Kenny, who is doing a voice of Scatter the Chimp. For some reason, Elvis has a chimpanzee sidekick. Johnny Knoxville is Bobby Ray, the helper. You have Caitlin Olsen as a character named Cece Ryder. Niecy Nash is Birdie, who kind of takes care of Elvis. Don Cheadle is this mysterious character called the Commander. And in this pilot episode, somebody's trying to kill Elvis, and it's around that Christmas special that you see toward the end of Elvis Presley or Elvis the movie. And he's fighting Chuck Manson, and he's fighting the Manson family at the Spawn Ranch, and it's so cool looking. And again, but the writing is not good. The writing is subpar. There's not a lot of jokes. A lot of the jokes fall. There's too many F words in it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man, I'm Elvis. Fuck, man, oh, shit. Fuck. Everybody's saying fuck all the time. Did you drop a couple of fucks and actually write some jokes? I'm going to keep watching it because I want to see if it gets any better.
Yeah, hopefully it'll get better.
But it's one of those things where there's tons of talent, and again, the animation is cool, and there's good music in it, and all sorts of things. So I'm gonna try it again. But another show that premiered I watched last night was Dig Man. With Andy.
I forgot to watch that. It's on my DVR.
Andy Samberg doing a Nicolas Cage impression for the full half hour. It's funny. Tim Robinson is his handler. His name is Swooper, and it's that over the top screaming Tim Robinson that you're used to. Guz Khan is Zane, who is the nemesis. You have Tim Meadows as some Elon Musk guy, and you have else. Is this? I can't read my handwriting. Yeah, you were talking about it last week, Dustin, right? He's a down on his luck guy, and Archie, is that what they call him?
Archie, the archaeologist.
Yeah, he's an archaeologist, and they're all like superheroes. Maybe I heard that somewhere else, just floating in my head, but I liked it. It was cool.
What is this on?
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central. It's on after South Park.
And actually,
Okay, so Paramount Plus.
You can watch the full episode on Comedy Central's Facebook page. They got the full first episode up on there.
I bet you it's uncensored on there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's a fun show. It's well done, and I heard him talking about it on this week's episode of Fly on the Wall. Where they talk over each other for 90 minutes. And David Spade doesn't really know a lot about pop culture, even though he's been in the industry for I don't know how many years. Yeah, I never saw that. I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I know what he's talking about.
Dana Carvey called him Adam Sandberg.
Yeah, I know. And then he tells a story about how he was on stage once, and he was introduced as Adam Sandler. The audience went nuts. So that's kind of all the new stuff that I've watched this week, and some of the stuff that you guys watched. Other than
Mando.
That, well, yeah, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about Mando.
I haven't watched this week's, but you guys surely haven't made me want to watch it. And the last one wasn't that great, I didn't think, anyway.
It's
this week's it was a weird choice because Mando and Grogu were hardly in it at all.
Yeah,
they focused on the love affair of these two gay Jedis.
Yeah.
W. Earl Brown and the guy that played Jar Jar Binks.
Ahmad Best.
Yeah.
Who's Kelran Beg. Kelran Beck is his name. He's a Jedi that saved... Okay, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet, okay? If you haven't watched the most recent Mandalorian, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. But Kelran Beck is the Jedi who saved Grogu when the clone troopers are destroying all of them on Coruscant. And let me tell you that this show has become the book of Bo-Katan. And it's less and less about the Mandalorian. And there's like these dumb things, like the first episode, the dumb alligator, the giant. Why? They know there's this fucking giant alligator in that lake. Why are they doing their stuff there? They're just like, hey, we're baiting the giant alligator, but we have to train. There's a what?
You want me to interject with nerdy shit? Because I can.
Yeah, but let me say this first. They're also like they have the pterodactyl that comes down out of a mountain and snatches up one of the foundlings. I mean, just kill all these animals. Why you have guns and shit? Anyway, go ahead.
Well, the reason why they don't kill the animals, the reason why they brought back the pterodactyls, and the reason why Bo-Katan is so locked into the mythosaur is because Mandalorians are war. They use war animals. That's part of their culture. So them raising them to be riders is what they're going to do. They're going to raise them up. The Grogu is probably going to help because he can communicate with them.
Grogu going to be on that mythosaur before you know it.
Yeah. So it's Avatar.
But they can. I mean, as far as that's what they do. I thought it was a little ridiculous at the beginning when they've got like a redneck beer party going on and shooting into the water. I thought that was a little ridiculous. But yeah, just shooting everything. But I mean, as far as moving the story along, I thought it was a great episode. Carl Weathers directed it. I mean, as far as an action one goes, it was very short. It was only like 30 minutes, but it was nonstop. I mean, it didn't, it ran the whole time. The flashback and Jar Jar, that was awesome. Just to give that guy give Best back some dignity And, now he can go to conventions and proudly put that Jedi up on his banner instead of it just being Jar Jar. That like Padme's ship, that was Padme's ship that helped them escape. So all this is happening, at the time when Padme and Anakin are up in the, after he's already killed most of the younglings. And so this is what's happening while that's going on. It was kind of neat to see it interact with the original. Say again?
She's just followed him to Mustafar?
Mustafar. Yeah. She would have gone to Mustafar, but she would have left her guard there to save, what younglings that she could save after she found out that he had massacred everybody. So that was kind of cool to see that Padme and him were the ones that got, Grogu out of it. And that answered that question.
One thing I liked that Dustin turned me on to, that it annoyed me to watch these videos on YouTube, but Screen Crushed, a guy with a dog who breaks down all the Easter eggs and everything. I like his show, and the dog isn't as annoying as I thought it was. But he tells you what's going on and breaks down, and this Easter egg is this, and this Easter egg is this. And I don't know, it's just like, too much for me, but I'm going to keep watching it. I don't hate it.
Steph fell asleep like 20 minutes ago.
She did.
Well, I know there's a lot of people that care about all this stuff. I'm not one of them, but I know that there's a lot of people that do.
I like watching old people fuck.
I like little baby Grogus. I get jacked every time I see that damn thing. And anytime it like giggles and shit, I get all warm inside. I love it.
Do you like it when they make him Vespar armor?
I like it when they do anything with him. I want one of those Grogu eggs for my mom so that I can not worry about her so much. Because if I could just put her in one of those,
you floated.
Yeah, if I knew she had one of those, I wouldn't worry about her living, 600 miles away from me.
That's a good idea. Well, somebody should invent one. Maybe Elon Musk will invent one.
My mom would be perfect for it too, because she's somebody that wants to get out and go, but her physical whatever doesn't let her like she should. But if she had one of those eggs, she would be all up at the mire up in Michigan, going aisle to aisle.
You hear that hover round?
Yeah.
Make a hover egg.
Elon Musk makes it. It'll turn into Wall-E, and we'll all be like 700-pound people in floating chairs.
We'll all be the whale.
Yeah.
Speaking of the whale, our good friend Sly is working on a film called what is it called? Killer Whale, with Jason Statham. Jason Statham, who runs around killing or beating up Jehovah's Witnesses. And we have a special video from Sly this week, where he's out in the woods for some reason, and he sent it to us and wanted to let us know what he's doing and what he's up to this week. So let's watch it.
It's time for Sly Talkin', ain't telling you lies. Never lie to you, okay, talking. He's got your big eyes. My eyes do droop a little bit. That big cut me, Don't speak too good. I don't speak too good, absolutely I don't. He's misunderstood. What?
How you doing? It's me, Sly. After the Oscars, I figured I'd take a break from writing Purple Rain. I kept getting mixed up with Killer Whale. And I thought I'd come out here to the great outdoors and, just kind of relax. And, it got me thinking. After watching Cocaine Bear, I figured, hey, while I'm out in the great outdoors, why not sprinkle around a few 100 kilos of, the good weight stuff and see what happens. It's a little experiment. Be a little scientific experience here. I'm not sure if you get me there. Well, I only have a couple bars on my phone, but I hear a little rustling in the woods here. I don't know what's going on, but, sounds like the wilderness is having fun. I'm having fun. And, hey, what can you do?
Please hang up and try again. He's misunderstood.
What?
That was funny.
That was funny. I hope he's okay. The bear came out of nowhere. Thank you to our friend Mark Schrenkel for putting that together for us. Jeff, you know his plugs better than I do. Would you please read them if you don't mind?
It's on the Stay Cartoons on Instagram, and he's Mark Schrenkel on Facebook.
Yes, his cartoons are great. Here's an example of one. I have the original, and I love it. What a great drawing that is of Alan Rickman and Bonnie Bedelia. Good job with the cleavage. I look at that a lot. Hi, it's Paul Stanley from the band Kiss, and I wanted you to know that we're almost done touring, and if you ever want me on this show, well, too bad, I'm already on the Von Hessler Doctrine, but they did lease me out to read this commercial because I like Italian food, especially pizza, and I also like Greek food, so where would I go for that in the Atlanta metro? You know where I would go? Atlanta Pizza Gyro. They're a longtime sponsor of your podcast, this says here in this copy. And listen, thank you to Mike Hall and everyone at the restaurant, okay? It's great stuff. Please join Atlanta Pizza Gyro for their weekly Tuesday night themed trivia from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Now heading into spring with all 16 draft beer taps available and over 40 other beers to choose from in bottles and cans. I think sacks. You can get a sack of beer, right? Bag. It's got like a wax lining over,
with a straw.
Well, you know how they used to carry, they'd kill an animal and they'd take its stomach out and they, let it dry and then put, like stuff on it. And then that's how they carry their water. I would get beer in that. Natural.
I just want to get under those taps like Barney at Moe's.
Yeah. If you like to drink and you don't want to use a glass, that's pretty good. Anyway, their beers have a strong focus on Georgia and Southwestern craft breweries, serving the best freshly made Greek and Italian specialties around in an authentic retro dive pizza place with a come-as-you-are family-friendly atmosphere. Wow. Dine in and takeout is available. Limited delivery is also available through Slice, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. We're coming out with Kiss Catering, and it's just a van that runs around and it has all of us on it, and we bring you your food. And Peter Chris needs something to do, so we're going to hire him as a driver. Hey, if you're a business or corporate client who's looking for a food truck for your next private event or catered luncheon, contact Mike Hall at Atlanta Pizza Gyro by calling 770-483-6228. They're open for dine-in and takeout Monday through Friday from 11 to 9, Saturday 12 to 9, and closed on Sunday so they can go to Chick-fil-A. Wait, they're also closed. Where would you go and get a chicken sandwich on Sunday?
Wendy's.
Ew, no thanks. I like
Cracker Barrel?
Cracker Barrel? What are you, nuts? We eat a Cracker Barrel. Nobody eats a Cracker Barrel. You know why nobody eats there? Because everybody's there and it's hard to get in. You go in and they dump sawmill gravy all over you. And that horrible apples, those apples that are in that sauce. I don't even think they're apples. They just like take potatoes and inject apple juice. Actually, you're just eating raw potatoes that look like apple slices.
You don't like to shop in their little store?
You know what happened is I went to Cracker Barrel once and I couldn't figure out how to do the golf tee triangle thing and I got real mad. It's really hard.
It's hard.
A hard thing to do. I just want to eat eggs that are undercooked and bacon that's really skinny and floppy. I'll go to Waffle House. I don't care if the floor is dirty and there's a mop. There's a bunch of dirty rags on the floor. You know what? They make good waffles and the bacon's good. I ordered hash browns once at Cracker Barrel and they brought out these chunks of potatoes with peppers in them. That's disgusting. Save those potatoes, please. Anyway, go eat. You don't have to worry about all this crap if you just want pizza and gyros. Atlanta Pizza Gyro. All right. Thanks again to Mark for that Cocaine Bear Sly mashup. That was funny. The videos that he's done, we do like having him on live, and we will have him on live again as both himself and as Sly, but those videos he's doing are really funny, and appreciate that. So
yeah.
Between him and Dustin, they're killing it with the videos.
Good job. Dustin, have you made them independent of themselves yet?
Yeah, I'm working on putting those out individually on the page.
So we do TikTok. That seems to be the place where like a short clip of that might do well.
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I mean, it'll be on all of our socials, so you won't miss it.
Cool. I can't wait to get the Redbox troll puppet. Then we're all going to have to write, but I'll keep it short. I promise. All right, Jeff, you want to do some views or snare views?
is views.
Or.
Snooze.
Yeah, Abusers News. Last week, Agent Ovis, which we already talked about, Lucky Hank. We already talked about Extrapolations, which I haven't watched yet on Apple TV. Anybody watch that?
Not yet, no.
It's got some good reviews.
What was it? It was like that, like Twilight Zone type of show.
It's supposed to be like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
But there's like a theme running through the whole thing about climate change.
Oh, okay.
This week, Great Expectations starts on Hulu. This is one of those joint BBC FX productions. 6-part adaptation of Charles Dickens' classic novel from the guy that made Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders was a good show.
Yeah. So I bet you this will be pretty good.
Great Expectations. I might have to check that out. I don't want to say snooze because I don't want to besmirch it, but it is for me. I'm going to have to put it on pause. Can we add that to user snooze? Put it on pause.
Put a pin in that.
A pin in that. Stop that. Oops.
Rabbit Hole starts on Paramount Plus. The Kiefer Sutherland show.
Yeah.
24 plus.
Yeah.
You gonna watch it?
What's that about?
Yeah, no doubt. What is it?
He plays a anti-terrorist espionage agent who's framed for murder.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Like the same, he's playing the same, this basically the same shit that he always plays.
25.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is probably going to be a snooze for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a snooze for me. I tried to watch that show where he becomes president or whatever. That show sucked.
Yeah, that wasn't on for like 5 seconds, was it?
I had a couple seasons as far as I know. Is Chloe in it?
No.
Then it's a no for me.
Yeah, it's a snooze for me too, but I don't know. We have some Kiefer Sutherland fans like Josh Warren. He'll probably watch it.
Well, yeah, we should have Kiefer come on to plug it.
Yeah. And then Yellow Jackets comes back this week. Season 2.
That's a views for me.
On Showtime.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
I was late to the party for season 1, but it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife has discovered it, and so I'm rewatching it, the first season for the second season. So yeah, I can't wait for it.
Definitely views for me.
I keep trying to get Caitlin to watch it because I know she'd love it.
Yeah, she'd be into it.
Yeah,
she would if she started.
Yeah, the women on that show are all the same, time frame, because 90s or whatever. I think she's about that same age range as they are. But it's just so well done. Everybody acts so well, and the story is cool. And who's on it this year that wasn't on it last year? There's
what's the name? The Hobbit kid.
Yeah. What is his name? Who played the Hobbit? Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
No, he's in it.
Yeah. Yep. His best work was that movie with Macaulay Culkin where they body off of
the Good Son.
Yeah.
I liked him in Sin City where he was just armless and chained to a tree.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Didn't say a word. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a views for all of us, I believe.
Yep.
Let's do some staff picks. I already mentioned mine, so I'll just get it out of the way. Andy Samberg on Fly on the Wall. Adam Sandberg, Adam Sandler. He's a funny guy. And then it led me to one that I had missed, which was the Zach Galifianakis one, which was also...
Yeah, the live show. That was good.
That was a good one, yeah.
They do talk over their guests too much, and they do talk about themselves too much. But I guess that's the way it goes.
It's a bunch of narcissists interviewing another narcissist. So
right.
What do you expect?
Right. But I really miss the format of Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like that. There's nothing to replace it. I know Frank could do it. He could just find somebody else who has as much knowledge as he does. But there was a specialness to that program, that podcast, that'll never be recaptured. But I really enjoyed it. And I wish Frank Santopadre would do another podcast. That's my plea.
Next Friday, Jason Isbell, Running with Our Eyes Closed. It's an HBO documentary about him recording his last album, being in the studio. It's pretty much just the band, and which includes his wife, and everything that he goes through recording the album and writing the songs, and it's not a huge history of the band or anything, but it's kind of a cool look at a modern recording artist in a modern studio and what it takes to get an album done. So that comes down on HBO next Friday.
Cool. Mine is the Big Door Prize on Apple TV Plus. This is adapted from a book. It stars Chris O'Dowd, who we loved from Get Shorty.
Yeah.
And it's written by Craig Rowan, who was in Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell.
Oh, okay.
And you might see me in a truck driving by in 2 different scenes, because they filmed this right next to my work for the last 6 months.
Is it again? What's the name of the show?
Called The Big Door Prize.
Oh, okay.
This kind of weird machine shows up in this thing, and it's like a fortune teller thing, and it tells you what your fate is supposed to be.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like a Zoltar situation.
And that's what they use for all the signs, and the filming name of the show was Zoltar.
Yeah.
And they changed the name for the...
I've seen signs for that all over the place.
Yeah. Man, they've been filming for about 6-8 months.
Tucker. Man, all right, we have to watch this if it's... yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We made some shit for it at my work. I'm going to have to look for it, like some flags and shit.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Steph?
My Steph pick, it's a documentary. It came out last year, but I just recently caught it on Showtime, but it's called Cypress Hill Insane in the Brain. And it is really good. And
real good.
It just gives them, shows how they were at the forefront of trying to get marijuana legalized through their music. They were like one of the only rap groups really that were doing that. They kind of kicked that off, and just how they all got started, and it's got everybody in it, and it's nice to see a group where everybody's still alive,
and friends,
be real,
and like a family. Yeah,
they're all
on that cooking show with pot.
They were on the show.
Bon Appetit. Yeah.
They were on it.
Oh, I thought one of the guys was in the band.
I don't think so.
No.
But
he just made the show.
Yeah.
If you were a fan of Cypress Hill, you would enjoy it. I loved them when they came out, just for the simple fact that they were like, they transcended. And now that I understand that they had such a rock background with being into Led Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff before they actually got into hip hop, it makes sense, because I remember going to Lollapalooza in '97, and Korn opened up, and it was insane. And then Snoop Dogg came out, and he was like, I want y'all to do that shit for me. And it's like, we can't. But Cypress Hill could come out, and it would be the same shit. People going crazy, mosh pit, all that kind of stuff. That bass line from I Ain't Going Out Like That, I'll kick the windshield out of my car still to this day when that comes on. I get all jacked up. So, but it's called Cypress Hill Insane in the Brain.
Be Real is one of the hosts of Bon Appetit, and he was in Cypress Hill.
Oh, he was one of the hosts?
He was on must have been like the later seasons or something, because he didn't start being on there. Because I watched it from when they first started. At least the first 2 seasons he wasn't in.
Yeah, he
lost it after that.
Vanessa Lavatory.
Yeah, she's the cook. Yeah.
The Miguel Trinidad and Be Real. They're the hosts.
I did not know that. And I know Be Real has his own grower. I mean, he has his own
line,
pot farm, basically, and his own line.
Is that show back, or is it canceled?
Bon Appetit? I thought it was canceled ages ago.
Yeah, it could float back anytime if it's Vice. They tend to pull stuff out of the closet from time to time. Now, their podcast is really cool, where they submarine in a car with their guests, that they get them in a car and they all smoke out in the car until it's so full of smoke you can't see. They had Joe Rogan in there. It was pretty good. It was hilarious.
All right. You said you have one more thing, don't you, Steph?
Oh, yeah. And Succession comes back next week, which I cannot wait. I'm so stoked for this season. I think it's the final season.
Final season.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start watching it.
Oh, you should, Tim. You would love it. You know how
I watched like 5 episodes and just could not get into it.
I don't know why, Jeff. I mean, just some shows don't grab people, but I think, Tim, what you would like about it is, to me, it reminds me of Deadwood in the sense of how they talk. It is a there's a rhythm to it, and it's fast.
And it comes around and says cocksucker.
And Brian Cox was in Deadwood.
Yeah.
Brian Cocksucker.
He's the dad of the year, I'll tell you that. Father of the year.
Legend. Awesome. All right. Do you have a commercial or residential construction printing need? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens. They've been in Athens, Georgia since 2005, which means almost 20 years, with fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com. And I want to thank Brett for giving us the idea to talk about Night Patrol, which is just around the corner. It's not one of those things we say we're going to do and we're not going to do it. Don't worry about that.
We're working on trying to get a big guest from the movie if we can.
Pat Paulson, see if we can dig it.
I voted for him for president, so I'm hoping he'll come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were getting Billy Barty.
Yeah, we're going to try to dig him up, see what he's doing. You calling me a liar? Superman. Tell us about what's going on at Barkville.
Barkville will be out at the PetSmart in Alpharetta this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2. So stop by in and see us. I won't be there, but they will be there with lots of our luscious, beautiful animals. So if you guys are looking to adopt or foster, or you just want to come by and give us some money, we'll be there. If you want to do that any other time, you can go to barkvilledogrescue.org 24 hours a day and give us any kind of money that you want, or apply to foster or volunteer or look for a dog. We could really use any of your assistance in that area.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steph.
Has the video that Shauna and Riley did brought in any new donations?
I don't know. I mean, it got lots and lots of views, so I'm not sure if it has or not. I think they're struggling so bad. I don't even know. We have like 5 more dogs all of a sudden that they got to find fosters for. They're going to go into boarding, so I don't know. I haven't asked her recently. Probably because I feel so guilty.
Right.
I haven't been to an event in like a month. So I feel really bad.
You've put your time in over the years. You shouldn't feel bad about that.
I have, but it's rescue is a "what have you done for me lately" kind of game.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Because it's a constant. Well, and also like last week there was a big protest. Well, it could have been bigger, I would imagine, but they threw a protest together real quick last week. Not Barkville, but a couple of other rescue groups. That guy that beat that dog to death against the wall in DeKalb. So they tried to get a protest together in like 2 days, and they sent me this thing, and I'm like, maybe if you'd organize it a little bit better. There's like 40 people there. So, I don't know. Most of the rescue groups, nobody works together. They work against each other.
Everybody's competing for the same.
Yeah, they're always sniping. It's always backbiting and sniping. Barkville is not like that. That's what I love about Barkville. And Kim that runs it, she ain't got time for any kind of nonsense like that. But anyway, it's unfortunate. I think people just get so passionate because they're so upset and there's nothing you can do about it. And it just comes out in really crappy ways.
Well, hey, if you want to come visit Meowville, that's what we're calling our basement. And we have one. We got to get her spayed, neutered. What is it? Spayed. Yeah, we got to get her spayed.
David Spade?
Yeah.
You got one of them. Somebody's adopting one of them, right?
Allegedly.
I'm
ready.
They should be ready to go pretty soon, right?
Yeah, according to the experts, 3 more weeks, but they make bottles and formula for them, so we're ready to rip them off that titty right now.
So you have a full-grown cat and 5 kittens?
Yep.
So you're about to have 6 full-grown cats?
No, we're not. There's a pond near here. No, I would never do that. Never do that.
That's West Virginia rules.
Yeah, I would never hurt an animal like that ever.
That possum in the backyard needs some lunch.
Oh, God, there's another stray cat wandering around here, got in a fight with the one that knocked up. Maybe, I don't know, they're all fucking...
Real quick before we go, you need the hawk that I saw when I got home yesterday. I came home yesterday, opened the back door to let my dogs out. There's this humongous hawk in the middle of the yard, clutching a squirrel that is squirming for its life. Then it flies up and it lands on the side of my fence. The poor squirrel is flapping. It is horrible. It's right out of some National Geographic thing. Then another hawk comes by like he's going to get the squirrel. And that hawk is like, wow! And he flies off. And I'm out there like, get the hell out of my yard. Get out of here.
I've seen owls grabbing squirrels. That's sad.
It is sad. This hawk was, when he put that wingspan out, it was like, damn.
Big ass raptor birds.
He's a big ass raptor. I'm thinking, he's going to scoop up my little pee pop when I put her outside to go pee.
It's the circle of life.
You gotta eat. Circle of poo. All right, guys. Thank you for a good show. We will talk to you all out there in listener land in a week. Be on the lookout for Radio Labyrinth Presents coming up with Brian O'Halloran, and we'll talk to you soon. Until that time, please remember to keep it protected.